Hello, Soul Family. Jenna Pinkstone, the Southern Oracle, syncing up with you today. I want to first thank you for your forgiveness and for your patience that I have not made a video in a very long while to connect with all of you. I've been going through some human endeavors of myself. That's right. You couldn't really get more accurate than that. A family member of mine got admitted to the hospital, non-COVID related. And as you can probably see from my eye, I had a nasty fall. And I've never been in a fight. I've never been hit in the face. And I've never had blunt force trauma applied to my body in such an intense and jarring way. And it sent me into a deep reflective state of really marinating on the experience. And it's taken me a while to want to get back into the frequency of sharing with all of you. But it's something that I've been deliberating with Loria, the ancient ancestral alien beings of consciousness. I call them alien beings just so that all of you will gain some perspective and understanding of what it is that I speak. But first of all, no alien being likes to be called an alien being. Many of them are ancestors to our own race, and this being is certainly ancestor to all forms of consciousness. If you have more interest in learning about Loria, I do delve into them deeply on my Patreon site, where it is incredibly reasonably set up so that all of you can connect with me in a more intimate way, and that we can enter into a supportive state of building each other up. Loria has been helping me to gain understanding about the state of humanness, the state of beingness, simply in a very simplified fashion of a state of expressing or creating. This is the state that you must be embodying, the frequency that you must be stepping into if you're going to share with others the way that I am doing with you right now. Then there's the state of being imbued with, of absorption, of witness, of listening. We can do all types of listening, soul family. There's so much to be gained, so much wisdom to be gained from listening. And in light of all of what's going on in the world right now, and I'm sure many of us have been marinating, absorbing, and bearing witness to the Dr. King quote that rioting is the language of the unheard. And this resonated with me so deeply in such a way that it truly made me reflect upon the imbalance that we have, that we are embodying as a race, as a state of consciousness for the collective, if such a very large demographic of us feel so very unheard that we are committing violence. And I was talking to my husband about this, because he has seen other facets of the world that I have not. I told you I've never been struck in the face. I've never had the experience of blunt force trauma to my body. My husband is very different. He grew up in a different way with a differing realm of experience, so that whenever I connect my realm of experience with his, we have a broader spectrum of understanding. And that's really what I hope to do with all of you. That is my goal. But when connecting with his broader realm of experience, and him sharing with me that he has been in an angry mob before. He has, as a teenager, participated in a riot. And this just really, it astounded me to hear of this, us being married for more than 10 years, to hear this about the person that I share my life and my home with. And the things that he had to share were riveting. And I sat an afternoon and I listened to him. And what I heard was, whenever a riot begins, and many people are speaking right now. There's a lot of speaking going on. There's a lot of transmitting of information. And a lot of that transmitting comes from a place deep within. But I truly believe and feel that this is the nature of the imbalance of our world right now, is whenever there's too much speaking and not enough listening, things get thrown off kilter and people begin to feel unheard. He said, even if the people that are present at the riot have nothing to do with the reason for the protesting, if they see one person throw a brick through a window, if they see one person assault a police officer, it sends a ripple of unrest through the crowd. And I was actually able to see this in an energetic way ripple through the spirit world of anyone who has ever felt unheard for any reason. It simplifies down to a very, very essential concept that most of us can tap into. That if there are many people present and they see, they are experiencing, they are absorbing, they are listening and experience one act of violence, one act of anarchy, the ripple, the consciousness ripple penetrates through that crowd, and it interfaces with everyone that is present there to bear witness to that event. And the way in which it interfaces with many of us is by stirring up an anguish, a desire to sync up with that, because there's something broken within us all, soul family. It does not matter the color of our skin. It goes deeper and far, far more complex than just this incarnation and this experience as a human being. It is deeply embedded in the Akashic record, the notion and the experience of slavery. And I'm probably getting off topic right now. It's probably something that I will be delving into deeper on Patreon later to discuss a little bit more the more complicated facets of this expression with my inner soul circle, because there's a lot of heated feelings and emotions that get stirred up with all of this. And if any of you feel compelled to ever throw a brick, to ever assault a police officer, to ever step outside the confines of what it is that you embody on this planet as a human being, I encourage you to explore that. Not necessarily. I don't encourage you to throw that brick, soul family. I encourage you to do something more. I encourage you to dive deeply within yourself and to understand the origin of your desire for that experience. Because until we truly start listening to ourselves, until we truly start listening to others, because when we are talking, when we are only transmitting information, even if we do so with the intention of healing others, when we are only talking, we cannot hear anything. That is the folly of being human. If you are talking, you cannot hear. And we need to do a lot of listening right now to bring that back into balance, to bring that imbalance and reconcile it. And it's not just others that we need to listen to right now, soul family. It's ourselves. It's who we are and what we're about. And the more we're able to do that, if we start with only ourselves and journaling and meditating and stirring up that soil, sometimes we'll be surprised at what we unearth. So this light language transmission, and I thank all of you who have stayed with me through this transmission. This light language transmission is going to have the sacred intention to imbue within all of us the desire to hear others, to hear ourselves, to tune out, like turn that dial and tune out of the frequency of transmission and tune into the frequency of bearing witness, of seeing and understanding. Because this is what Loria has expressed, that we embody these two states and we embody it simultaneously as a collective. But at times, if there's too much of one frequency, the other frequency gets paled out. And that is not the state that we are meant to share. It's not the state that we are meant to imbue. We are meant for something more comprehensive, more collaborative, and more whole. Thank you, soul family, for sharing with this transmission with me, for syncing up with me today. I don't do personal readings for hire. I do tap into the energies at play and interface how that works with your individual soul signature, but I only do this for my patrons on Patreon, for the certain tiers that want to participate in that experience with me. I hope that you will take a look and see if it's something that speaks to you, if this video is something that resonated with you in a meaningful way. If this video was something that helped you, I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel for future notifications of new transmissions. This is Jenna Pinkstone, the Southern Oracle, signing off with you today.